Hey guys, welcome back. Andrew here with Ambient Endeavors, and a few months back on the channel here I did a video showing some sound samples from this guitar, a Gretsch 2622T. It's part of their Streamliner line of guitars, a really nice, approachable, budget-friendly center block, kind of semi-hollow guitar here. And from the moment I got this guitar in, not really having anything to do with how it sounds or plays or feels, I just kind of had this itch to mod the heck out of it. And so as you can tell, I did that. And we're going to do this video, talk through what I did to this guitar, talk through some of the high points of the outcome and the sort of the finished product, some things I kind of overlooked when I was planning this project, and then share some sounds specifically from the pickups here that I chose to throw on this guitar, just to kind of give you a feel of some things you could do to a guitar like this, some places where my mind goes when I think about modding a guitar, and some of the reasons why I chose to do some of these mods. To start off, I want to say a huge thank you to some local friends and luthiers and repair techs over at Overman Guitars in St. Paul. Wyatt and Johnny and their crew over there do fantastic work. I've been friends with them for a long time and been a customer of Wyatt's since he was doing work out of his own home. And it's just been awesome to see the way that his operation and his shop over there has grown and expanded to serve and to help a ton of local musicians here in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area and beyond. So huge shout out to them, to Wyatt and everything he has worked so hard to build over there. Please, if you're a friend or a musician in the Minneapolis area, take your guitars over to him, have him work on it, have Johnny or Wyatt or one of the other techs there do their thing. They're awesome at what they do and well worth the money. So thanks to the crew over there. Johnny did all the work on this guitar, and as I'll kind of talk through, it was really quite a labor, and I'm wildly impressed with the way it came out after all that he did to it here. So we're just gonna launch in. Like I mentioned, this is the 2622 from Gretsch. These retail for just under $600 new, and so they kind of make for a pretty cool mod platform if that's the route you want to go. I'm really gonna leave this video as sort of we report, you decide kind of video, because for me, honestly, the goal was to do the project and see kind of how it came out. I didn't really have a huge reason or aim for the outcome, and I'm still kind of deciding at the end of all of this whether it was a good decision or not. So we'll talk through that as we go along, but let your ears and your eyes decide and kind of think through for yourself what you want out of your guitar. But this is just kind of the project I dreamed up, and we saw it to the finish line. So the first thing we'll talk about, which is the easiest mod, the cheapest mod, and I think objectively a kind of a quality of life upgrade, is this Vibramate, the string spoiler here for the Bigsby. I don't know about you, but I always hate changing strings on Bigsby's, and this allows you to kind of keep your strings locked in with the ball ends down here in this spoiler, instead of having to wrap them around and hook them into those pulls on the underside of the Bigsby. So for me, it's a huge quality of life saver. It saves some time and some frustration when I change strings, and it's also like a zero effort mod that you can do. They're available for like 30 or 40 bucks online and really easy to pick up. The next mod that I wanted to do, and if you're a Minneapolis player watching this, you might understand the reference, but I feel like I should pay royalties to Jasper Nephew. He's a local guitar dude around town, a fantastic player, and he's got these Merle Travis Bigsby arms on a lot of his guitars, and it's kind of the inspiration, seeing him play his semi-hollow guitars with these big old weird Bigsby arms on them. Had me curious what they feel like, how they work, and so I ordered one of those and had that installed. I guess the jury is still a little bit out for me on this arm. It certainly is a different experience than a normal Bigsby arm. You obviously can't rotate the arm, so when you're not using it, it's just there, and so that can sometimes be annoying just with how you're moving or or playing with your right hand there. But there is a cool sort of fluidity and the leverage that you get from having this arm be so long and so out front there is kind of cool. You can do some more subtle movements. You can kind of just approach it in a little different way than a normal Bigsby arm. So jury's still kind of out with that, but I thought it was fun enough to give it a try, and I'm having fun kind of learning and navigating my way around that Bigsby arm. The next mod, which is always kind of a recommendation for some of these lower end guitars, is a roller bridge for this guitar. It just kind of helps with things like tuning stability. It helps when you're bending notes or using that vibrato for the strings to be able to move and roll. And so I found a roller bridge that I had on another guitar that I really liked and ordered one of those. One of the oversights on my end was that I didn't really vet the specific bridge and the fit for this specific guitar, and so that kind of created some extra work for Johnny over at Overman. He did a fantastic job. There's nothing really that he can't tackle over there, and so it came out great. But I'm going to drop a link to a bridge that if you have one of these lower end Gretsch guitars, it's more of a drop-in replacement than this specific bridge. So had to sort of endure some added costs there and a little bit of headache on Johnny's end, but it all in all is a great upgrade for this guitar for the bridge, and allows those strings, like I said, to kind of move more freely than the stock bridge. Moving on to kind of the most obvious upgrades sonically, we have a new set of pickups. If you go back to the sound samples video, I actually really did kind of like the sounds of the pickups in this guitar. I thought there was a lot of versatility to them, and some nice clarity and chime and kind of compression to them too. But I just kind of wanted to try something different and see what these two pickups specifically would sound like in tandem. So I reached out to Lollar, and they were kind enough to send one of their El Rayo humbuckers in the bridge here. I've been really curious to play one of these pickups, as I've heard a lot of great things and good reviews from friends that play them. It's a really cool, pretty low output, very percussive, sort of PAF style pickup. I'm really drawn to those types of humbuckers that are a little bit lower output, that sound and act a little bit more like single coils, and so it really fits that bill. We're going to hear some sounds from this pickup now. I'm running it right into the Supro Keeley Custom 12 and adding a little bit of plate reverb in post. The neck pickup was one that I'd had around for a couple years. I sort of bought it on a whim. It's a McNelly Saint Nick P90. I don't know the whole story of it, but basically every year around the holiday, there's one day where you can buy this P90 style pickup, and I just went for it, and it's been sitting in a box for a couple of years, and I thought this was a great candidate for that pickup in the neck. Again, it's a really nice, clear, chimey, kind of bright and open sounding neck pickup, which I love, and I think it makes a pretty good pair to the El Rayo and the bridge here. So we're going to check out some of the sounds from the McNelly Saint Nick P90. The nice thing about these guitars too is that you have the ability to coil tap built in from the original stock version. You could coil tap both of the pickups, and so I had Johnny maintain that through the mod. And so we're going to show some samples of the middle position with both the pickups, and then we'll get to some of the sounds from the coil splitting in the bridge on the El Rayo, so you can kind of get a feel for the single coil sounds you can get from the El Rayo as well as those full humbucker sounds from the El Rayo. And that's the project. Those are the mods I chose to do. Again, huge shout out to Overman Guitars for all their work to get this thing up and going. It really is a cool guitar to play. It's fun to kind of find my way around this new Bigsby arm to get some fresh new sounds from the pickups. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like I said, a couple of these mods I think are really pretty objective upgrades or kind of quality of life improvements, but then some of the others are really kind of preferential, or for me it's still kind of the jury is out on whether it was a good decision or not. But curious to hear what you think, curious to hear if these are mods that you would do to your Gretsch. Drop a note in the comments so we can chat about that and chat about the Gretsch and anything else that's on your mind. Thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button below too if you are new to the channel or just coming across it here in this video. And a big shout out too to the brands that contributed to this video to make it happen. Gretsch originally sent over this guitar for some demos. Thanks to Gretsch, and also thanks to Lollar for sending the El Rayo pickup out to be included in the video here. Take care.